I was teased by an adult. I was teased by a teacher. And my mom stepped in and told that teacher that if you cannot say anything nice and if you cannot do your job as a teacher, and I remember this, and I was young. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's your coach, Coach Nyla, one of the co-founders of Outstanding Muslim Parents. And in this video, I am going to talk about bonding with your children. Whether they're toddlers, whether they are school-age children or adolescents, it's important to create these bonds with our children. We want to be able to bond with them as early as possible so that when they get older, they know that they can come to us. They know that we are there for them. We don't stop becoming their confidant. No matter how old they get, we don't stop being their confidant. We don't stop being their coach. We don't stop being their celebrity. Even though it may seem like when they get into their teenage years, they look at you more of the corny parent than the amazing parent that can do no wrong. Even that, though that is the case, or that can be the case, it doesn't stop them from looking up to you as long as we start doing it the right way. And I got to say that because there are times being a parent is not the easiest thing to do. It's not the easiest job in the world, and we know that. I've heard once that being a parent is one of the most challenging but most rewarding, jobs that you can ever have in life. And if we look at it as something that is full of rewards, especially when we are giving our children as an amanah, we are giving them as a gift, as where we are supposed to guide them, protect them, take care of them. And in order to do that, we have to create these bonds with them. Yes, we have to. It's important. It's imperative that we create bonds with our children. So how do we do that? Are we creating proper bonds with our children? Are we bringing them closer to us, or are we pushing them further away? So we have to ask ourselves these things. It's actually been said, and actually studies done, that we create our closest bonds when we are emotionally upset, or when our child is emotionally upset, or even our spouse, our partner is emotionally upset, when we're having challenges. That's when we actually create our strongest bonds. And it sounds crazy because why would we create it during those crazy times, those crazy moments? What about the beautiful times when we're connecting, or we think we're connecting with each other by relaxing or enjoying each other? Well, it's because that when we are going through challenging times or emotional moments, we want to make sure that we have people who are understanding us and who have our back. Our children feel the same way. If something is happening to our children and they're upset about it, as little as we may think it could be, it may be a big deal to them. And if we drop the ball on showing them that we are there for them during the small times, during the little times, then we will start pushing them away, and it will allow them to not come to us during the big times. So in order to create those bonds and those lasting bonds with our children, we must show them that we are there for them. So let me give you some information about the brain. We have we have 3 parts of our brain, or just 3 stages or 3 parts, where you have your primitive brain, you have your emotional brain, you have your logical brain. And the primitive brain is the thing that starts everything off. If it's kind of the fight or flight type of part of your brain, where if you are upset, if something happened and it upset you and it caused you to be overwhelmed, the first thing that you think to do, that comes from your primitive part of your brain. So children, especially toddlers, and children period, and we all do this, even adults, I find myself to do it time to time as well, operate at the beginning when I come to some type of thing that have upset me or that allow me to be nervous or anxious or something like that, I operated in my primitive brain state. And children do that as well. They're not at the logical part yet. They have not calmed down. Cooled down is something that is an immediate reaction. That's the reaction part. So if something upset them, whether it was a sibling that made them mad, or someone took their favorite toy, or their favorite toy was broken, or they got soaking wet and they didn't want to get soaking wet. They had their brand new shirt and it got dirty, or whatever the case may be, and they're coming to you upset. There are ways to handle these situations in order to create bonds with your children. And I know it may sound crazy. It's like, okay, well, this sounds so small, but something so small can lead to something so huge. So being able to say, what's the matter? It seems as though you're upset. I'm here for you. Those type of things where you're comforting them. And I know people will have a problem with that because they're like, well, why are you coddling them? And you're creating this scenario where they are needy. And honestly, you're not creating a needy child when you are there for them during their most emotionally vulnerable times and their upsetting times. Because you're showing them that you are there for them and you want them to be at peace and you want them to understand the issues that's going on. They're going to understand, or when they get to the logical part of their brain, they're going to be in the mindset of, what? My parent was here for me. I have a quick story where I remember that with my mom. There were some times where I felt like she wasn't there for me as I felt she should have been there for me, but she's been there for me in so many different ways when I was a child that as I got older, those things stuck with me. I do have a bond with my mom. I have a close bond with my mom. Now, there might be some things that we don't agree with, and I can talk to her about the things that we don't agree with. I still give her respect. I don't disrespect her. And we still have this bond because I remember there were times where I was teased by an adult. I was teased by a teacher. And my mom stepped in and told that teacher that if you cannot say anything nice and if you cannot do your job as a teacher, and I remember this and I was young. She said, if you cannot do your job as a teacher and teach my child, then you have to find, or maybe you should find a different career path. It was something on the lines of that. I'm probably totally paraphrasing. But it was a point in time in my life when I said, wow, my mom has my back. And every time something happened, if I came running to her about a problem that I had, she had to see the big picture first. And she did listen to my side of the story before she made her final decision. It wasn't that, well, this person was older, so this person was automatically right, or this was the person of authority, so they were automatically right. It was none of that I can remember. If it was, I don't remember it. That means that she did a great job in creating that bond, creating that space to say, you know what? This is my child. I'm not saying my child can do no wrong. However, we're going to get to the bottom of everything first. And mind you, there were times that I've gotten myself in some trouble too. My mom wasn't always, on my side, but she did hear what I had to say. And she was there for me first. So being there for your child first and trying to figure out the whole story before you come to the conclusions that you will come to. So that's one of the things to create that bond, and then allowing them that time to cool down from those emotional primitive moments, allowing them that time and telling them that, I will give you this time to cool down, but you have to understand that you're going through a bit of some emotions right now that you may not understand. I am here for you, but I'm going to give you some cool down time. This right now, during that primitive time, is not a time for you to be teaching things. And I've messed that up a number of times as a parent. So I've learned better ways to communicate and connect and bond with my children. And that's being able to give them that time to cool off and being able to allow them to respectfully say what is going on with them and how they feel. Then when they move on to that logical stage and that logical part of the brain is activated because that primitive part has deactivated, then we can start to talk about solutions and how, if this was to happen the next time, how would we go through this and grow through this. And that's kind of where the teaching moments come into play. Because when they're in their primitive state of mind, they're not trying to hear anything but, I'm here for you. Or their feelings being validated. And it's one thing about validating feelings and making it seem like they can do no wrong. It's one thing to say, you know what, I know you have these emotions. I know you're feeling upset right now. I understand that. So I'm going to give you some time to cool off so we can talk about it. And I've learned to do that even with my 4-year-old, because there are times where they get frustrated when they're not able to communicate their feelings like they want to, or to a point where you can understand as a parent what they are going through. So being able to tell them that, I'm there for you. I know you're going through these emotions, and I'll give you this some time to sort it out, and I'm here to help you sort them out when you're ready. That shows them that you will be there for them, even when there are tough times or times that we may feel that is much tougher than a toy being broken or a sibling being mad at them or hurting their feelings or anything like that. Because whether we feel it's big or not, it's still big to them. But when they get older and the other problems become more challenging, they'll know they have someone who has their back. And with that being said, the bonds will be very strong. And that's what they'll remember from their parent. So, hope you guys got some great information from this video. If you think this video could be beneficial to someone else, definitely share it, because sharing is caring. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And follow us on our social media channels. And inshallah, I will see you in the next video. I look forward to speaking with you. Make sure you're growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. It's your Coach Nyla. And inshallah, I'll see you very soon. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace. I'm Coach Nadir.
And I'm Coach Fatima.
And I'm Coach Nyla.
And we are the founders of Outstanding Muslim Parents. I want to introduce you to something that you may be interested in, because you seem like a proactive parent already just by the video we interrupted. All right. And that's called the OMP Inner Circle. That's where we all train deep dive into parenting. So whether that's the first stage of children up to 7 years old, or 8 to preteen in the second stage, or of course the teenagers and young adults in the third stage, we deep dive with the 3 C's as well as the 3 E's. So what our members get every single month, all of our students, they get brand new training every single week. That includes downloadable audios, downloadable worksheets, so you can deep dive into it. And of course, you have our personal email addresses as well. However, every single month, we have a live Q&A for all of our students. So we go to answer the questions or deal with different challenges and things that they may be dealing with parenting, because we know it's an ongoing struggle. Just us, here being parents of 12 children.
Right.
Okay. So with that being said, I want to congratulate you on being proactive.
And make sure you click the link below in the description, and we'll let you get back to the video. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.
Peace.